Right now at 5, an eviction call becomes a death investigation in Fountain City. And the first reported case of West Nile virus in Eau Claire County.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Emily is off. Police have arrested a man possibly connected to a death in Fountain City. According to Buffalo County Sheriff Mike Osmond, a landlord sent deputies to a mobile home Wednesday to evict 2 people. They found a 57-year-old woman dead in the home, and it looked like she'd been dead for weeks. Police also discovered 58 cats and 13 dogs in the home. Those animals are now at local shelters. The sheriff's office is investigating the death and conducting an autopsy. Authorities have not released the suspect's name, though his charges are pending. Testimony over video evidence dominated day 6 of Adam Fravel's murder trial in Mankato. Law enforcement say they obtained footage from sources showing Madeline Kingsbury's car traveling on Highway 43. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says it examined both Kingsbury and Fravel's phones and home security cameras. They found that those security cameras were active until March 29th, 2 days before Kingsbury disappeared. Prosecutors also showed text exchanges between Fravel and Kingsbury that indicated Fravel had been physically abusive. A human case of West Nile virus has been identified in Eau Claire County. This is the county's first case of West Nile virus this year. On average, Wisconsin sees about 18 reported cases. Around 80% of people who are infected don't get sick, but officials say it's always a good idea to prevent mosquito bites using bug spray and long-sleeve clothing.
Yeah, we definitely have rain in the forecast for this evening. Probably got another hour or 2 before it starts coming into the area right now. But Eau Claire, we're seeing the rain really ramp up after 7 p.m. And it looks like it'll last through 10 p.m. Light rain could be occasional, maybe a thunderstorm. I think they'll stay further south. Temperatures getting back down to the upper 40s. La Crosse, very similar story. A little bit later, potentially after 8 p.m. And then it really ramps up through about 10 to 11 p.m. Light rain right now. We're not expecting any heavy amounts of precipitation with this, but it will be wet. And there it is, the precipitation west of Minneapolis right now, with more stronger storms potentially further south. Now, we've had a little bit of precip up at Ladysmith that since ended. It's still going to be probably another hour to an hour and a half till it gets closer to Eau Claire. And then those storms are still far to the west, too. So overall, if we kind of track this out, you can kind of see that line will eventually approach. There might be a few showers ahead of it, but by the time we get to about 8:30, should be through La Crosse. And then you see the back edge, about 10 to 11 p.m., everything should be further to the east of La Crosse and Eau Claire, with areas to the east and south potentially continuing on a little bit later on. So it's only about 3 to 4 hours. We will see some rain, and we're not going to see a lot of rain, but definitely we could use it. Now, once this rain ends, skies will begin to clear out later tonight. Temperatures getting back down into the 40s, and that wind becoming northwest around 10 miles per hour as that front kind of comes through. So later on, we'll kind of break down. We do have pleasant conditions coming up for the weekend, and we actually have warmer temperatures going on to next week. So I'll break that down and see if we got any more precipitation even further on next week a bit later.
All right. Thank you, Greg. 2 Midwestern health systems are set to merge. South Dakota-based Sanford Health and Marshfield Clinic are combining forces. Sanford is the largest rural health system in the U.S. with 45 hospitals and over 200 clinics. Marshfield has locations across Wisconsin, including several in the Chippewa Valley. The combined nonprofit system expects to improve patient outcomes for their 425,000 members. The merger is expected to be complete by the end of the year. A group of students from Central High School walked out of school in a peaceful protest today. The effort put together by the school's Feminist Equality Movement Club, protesting the limitations on women's reproductive rights. The walkout looks to raise awareness for the cause ahead of the November election, whether you'll be casting a ballot or not.
I think it's important for our community to know that even if you can't vote, you're not old enough to vote, it's still important that you have a say and you have an opinion on what's going on in our country.
About 40 students attended the protest, which ran from 1 p.m. until the end of the school day. This week, La Crosse County Health and Human Services is partnering with local police for crisis intervention training. Today, officers are participating in a Hearing Voices demonstration. They go about their daily work while wearing headphones simulating voices in their head. Organizers say the exercise allows officers some insight on what those people with mental illness may be experiencing, and it also provides them with essential de-escalation skills.
Officers are responding sometimes to somebody's worst day and their worst moment in time, and we want to make sure that we provide the officers with the skills so everybody is safe.
Officers from La Crosse, Trempealeau, and Vernon counties are participating in the 5-day training. Tomorrow, they'll tour local mental health facilities, then put their training into action with live scenarios. Oktoberfest USA is donating 6 figures to the La Crosse area. The organization giving more than $142,000 to local nonprofits, schools, veterans, and community organizations. Big Brothers Big Sisters and the La Crescent Animal Rescue are among the organizations expected to receive some funding. Oktoberfest USA says they're proud to continue leaving a positive impact in the Coulee region year-round. A UW La Crosse program is providing higher education access for single parents. The university today hosting a scholarship breakfast for students and donors who are involved in the self-sufficiency program. SSP is a free 10-week class to support single parents and other adults as they look into local college options. Program graduates can then apply for scholarships to help them during their first 4 semesters in a local college. Officials say this program helps different generations reach academic goals.
It's tough to get a degree, whether it's associates or a bachelor's, but many do, and it's about giving them a good start and confidence, growing confidence.
The donations collected during today's breakfast will help fund those SSP scholarships. Those range from $350 to $1,000 per semester. A big name endorsement. While Vice President Kamala Harris is gaining the support of some notable figures, former President Trump rallies near the border. The latest after this.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Assorted soup mixes are just $3.49. 6 packs of Bubbler sparkling water, only $5.49. 16 packs of Energizer batteries are $7.99. 2 packs of hand or foot warmers, only 29 cents. Plus, sign up in store for a chance to win a GMC Sierra. Hurry, these hot deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get more big savings right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
This illegal immigrant was recently arrested in southwestern Wisconsin for a sexually violent attack on a woman, a suspected Venezuelan gang member who entered the U.S. just last year. Unfortunately, Steve Doyle supports sanctuary cities that protect criminals like this, and Doyle opposed sending resources to secure the border to keep dangerous criminals like Alejandro Jose Coronel Zarate away from our families. Steve Doyle's failures are destroying Wisconsin lives. Steve Doyle, unwilling to secure the border, unfit to serve.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means. And so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with a flat interior work surface. Drop down the tailgate to get it all done. And plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 2.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $9,900 in total savings on a new Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Vice President Kamala Harris is calling out the stars to help her make her final pitches of the 2024 campaign, while former President Donald Trump is relying on his standard tactics. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris departed one battleground for another, heading to Georgia for a star-studded rally tonight with former President Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen.
The turnout is massive. We know what we're fighting for.
On the campaign trail for Harris this month, Obama has focused on black men, with some party leaders concerned about turnout.
It's not what I see in terms of my rallies, in terms of the interactions I'm having with people.
in communities and on the ground. What I am saying is, in equal measure, men and women talking about their concerns about the future of our democracy.
Some voters waiting in line to see the vice president say she still has work to do.
It's real because so many younger people are misinformed.
With just 12 days left in the race for the White House, former President Donald Trump headed west for rallies in Arizona and Nevada, spotlighting his signature issue, immigration.
Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
In Georgia Wednesday night, Trump stepped up his attacks on the vice president and the Biden administration's border policies.
They walk through that open border and probably say, man, are these people stupid? And then they start to kill. They kill.
The Trump campaign is hoping to flip Arizona back to their column after the former president lost the state by fewer than 11,000 votes in 2020. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
In Phoenix, police have arrested a suspect they believe set fire to a post box, which damaged 5 ballots. Arizona's Secretary of State says the vandalism undermines the democratic process, and they responded by sending fire suppression equipment to counties statewide. The strike continues. Boeing workers are extending their walk-off after a failed contract vote.
Once we get much needed rain this evening, we do have pleasant conditions in store for Friday and the weekend, including dry conditions. We'll break down what the temperatures look like, and if we got any more rain in the forecast as well, that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Fall savings are on now at Home Furniture. The more you buy, the more you save. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices. Right now, this 2-piece modular sectional is just $11.99. Plus, get 60% off all fall and Halloween decor in the market. Hurry in. Fall savings at Home Furniture ends Saturday.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Oh, please. Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. She made her living trying to elect Democrat extremists. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. No wonder extremists like AOC are spending big bucks to elect liberals like Cook. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We've got unbeatable deals on quality boots and apparel to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like men's work and sport flannels starting at $24.99. Get $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear. Shop our new assortment of brunch work boots in-store now. And Wells Lamont insulated work gloves, $10 off.
The hardest working people in America find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing. Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubdy supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Right now at Homeworld Rugs, get 15% off area rug sale prices. Discover a stunning array of patterns, sizes, and shapes with expert guidance in every showroom to ensure you find your perfect rug. 15% off area rugs going on now at Homeworld Rugs.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Striking workers at Boeing are extending their walk-off after a failed contract vote. 64% rejected Boeing's latest 4-year labor deal, continuing a 6-week stoppage on airplane production. The new offer included a 35% wage hike and increased health and retirement contributions. But workers say the sticking point is the loss of their pension.
It is the direction society is going, and it's not right, it's not okay, but our members are dealing with that. We haven't been able to achieve that, and I can't say that we will by staying out on strike.
Boeing has not commented on the failed vote. Before ballots were cast, the company reported a $6 billion loss just last quarter. Well, we are on the watch for some rain totals this evening in our region, but the weekend should be fairly pleasant. Let's get all the details from Greg.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's a good time to pick up all the leaves that are going to be on the ground here because we're going to have pleasant conditions. We do have the rain here this evening that we could use. Obviously, we've had drought conditions expand across the area. Most of the area now is in moderate drought. Some areas are in severe. Few of the lucky ones are still abnormally dry. Now, this will help, but we definitely need a lot more coming. But overall, as you look at, there we go, coming up there. We do have rain likely from about 7 p.m. to midnight. Not the entire period will be rain, but that's kind of the time frame we're looking at it right now. Overall, dry and cooler on Friday. We'll be back to more seasonal conditions, more 50s, but still dry. And the weekend, pleasant. I think even Sunday we might actually get up to more the mid-upper 60s, so more mild maybe conditions as we go through Sunday, but it's going to be dry. Here's the rain right now, and a lot of this still has not quite reached the ground. We actually got a stronger thunderstorm towards Mason City, dropping some hail. They will weaken, but hail is one thing that we might see some of the western areas get, maybe some pea-sized hail if a thunderstorm continues to persist. Otherwise, that line is approaching the Twin Cities, so we still got about another hour to another hour and a half really left to go before it gets into our area. And really, it's not until about 8 o'clock that it gets close enough to clear this line that's over west of Minneapolis that'll come approaching. There may be a few showers ahead of this line, so we can't rule out that between 7 and 8. But I think La Crosse, by the time we get to about closer to about 9, that it'll start to come through. The backside of this line actually will be approaching Eau Claire as we get closer to about 10. So it won't be a long stretch of precipitation. Further south, La Crosse, probably about 10:30, it'll push east. And really, most of the area will be done with this as we get closer to 11, except far eastern areas and maybe towards the Wisconsin River, which may not last until maybe about 1 a.m. And then, as you notice, we'll start losing some of the cloud cover later tonight. And as you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll probably see more sunny skies, or at least partly cloudy skies, with that northwest wind will be picking up behind this front. So the morning commute should be pretty much unaffected. But you will notice that northwest wind. Precipitation, everyone will probably get between about 1/10 and 1/4. There are some areas in this blue that could get maybe up to a 1/2 inch, and especially if you get a thunderstorm, you might get up to a 1/2 inch. So it's a nice amount we haven't seen in quite a while, but it's definitely not a drought buster by any stretch of the imagination. But we are going to see a pretty good widespread of precipitation. There's your high temperatures for tomorrow, upper 50s. It'll be more seasonable. That northwest wind may be brisk at times. Saturday, the winds kind of die down a little bit. Then we're going to see temperatures pretty much similar as Friday, but you won't have the wind as much too, so maybe more pleasant conditions there. Plenty of sunshine, more clouds coming Saturday night. Now next week, as we go into Sunday, the ridge out to the west is really going to start pushing out to the east, and we're going to see warm air return again for late Sunday all the way through Wednesday as a big system really impacts the west coast and chilly air kind of dives south. So we're going to see windy, warm conditions Monday, Tuesday, and eventually this rain will eventually get to our area, but it will take probably into Wednesday. But if you look at these high temperatures coming next week, we might actually get close to 80 come Tuesday with this warm air. And then precipitation does come in focus Wednesday, Thursday. I think Halloween night looks still good, and then dry by Friday. So hopefully we get more rain next week, but this is needed.
Yeah.
Weekend looks good, but yeah, don't put the shorts out too way because we might actually get 80 next Tuesday.
There's still a little touch of summer on the horizon.
A little touch of summer. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, you'll definitely feel the warmth.
All right. Thanks very much, Greg. Expanding literacy. How Northwoods International School is inspiring a love for reading among its students.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, it's Foodie Friday, and we're joined by the Hungry Peddler to learn how a local restaurant is blending 1911 charm with modern culinary delights. See you then.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Let's talk about Rebecca Cook. She's a political operative. She's worked for Defund the Police radicals across this country.
Cook spent millions getting Mandela Barnes elected, the most anti-law enforcement candidate in Wisconsin's history.
You remember Barnes, the guy who said reducing prison populations was sexy?
Defund the police radicals make it harder for us to keep you safe.
That's why we can't support Rebecca Cook, because she'll never support us.
Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Have you heard Eric Hovde?
I am totally opposed to abortion.
I am totally opposed to politicians telling women what we can do.
Extremists all over the country have passed abortion bans.
Criminal penalties for doctors.
No exceptions for rape or incest.
Women are dying just trying to get health care.
There are even restrictions in Wisconsin. This has to stop.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We are totally opposed to Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
It's the weekend clearance at Drury's in Fountain. Incredible savings on America's finest furniture. We're clearing our showrooms to make way for fresh new introductions with hundreds of items reduced to their lowest prices ever. You'll save hundreds of dollars on top brands like Smith Brothers, Daniels Amish, and Flex Steel. Bedrooms, casual dining, sofas, even premium leather, all priced to go. You'd better hurry because you won't see furniture of this quality at these prices again. The weekend clearance, this weekend only at Drury's in Fountain.
Don't be fooled by Rebecca Cook. Cook proudly supported radicals who want to defund police, end cash bail, and throw open the border. Rebecca Cook, just another liberal trying to fool you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
A local school is helping promote literacy through shared reading. The 19th annual Jumpstart Read for the Record kicked off at Northwoods International School today. Students from Logan High also got involved by reading this year's featured book, Piper Chen Sings, to the kids. The book highlights themes of self-expression, overcoming self-doubt, and supportive family relationships. One teacher at Northwoods says students receive necessary attention thanks to the assistance from those high schoolers.
Gives them that more one-on-one attention and that connection with a high schooler that they just adore and look up to as they are participating.
And to enhance the day's engagement and enjoyment, students took part in a story walk along the outdoor path where various pages of the book were showcased. Not a bad day at school. Greg's going to have one final check of tonight's radar right after this.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. Why hasn't she done it?
For years, radical Kamala Harris created the border crisis. Thousands of accused murderers, rapists, even terrorists pour in. Each crime they commit makes American victims. Innocent victims of Kamala's open border agenda. They were bludgeoned, raped, strangled, stabbed, shot, and murdered. Kamala created the border crisis. She won't fix it now. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When I was 5, I began getting sexually abused by my stepfather, and he got me pregnant when I was 12. "64,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with total abortion bans. And Trump did this. Women and girls need to have choices. With Kamala Harris, we do."
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. Relax. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners that can create a home. Last a lifetime. Our flooring from Sealands is perfect for muddy feet,
And water balloon fights!
Sealand's Carpetland in Coon Valley. Let us help you find the perfect flooring because our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Who does Derek Van Orden think he is? This guy who reportedly shouted at kids in the U.S. Capitol? I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Derek Van Orden doesn't care about making our lives better. He'd make Wisconsinites pay just to give huge tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. Van Orden even sides with extremists who tried to cut Social Security. Wisconsin deserves better, and Derek Van Orden does not belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for every body, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
When the threat is real.
All right, we still have another tornado warning now.
First Warn Weather is here for you.
So we're going to continue to monitor this once again.
It's in the name, keeping you safe before and as it happens.
And then for the morning commute, we're looking at heavy rain potential.
First Warn Weather on News 8 Now. On air, in your hand, and online. When you need us.
We'll continue to update you throughout the night with a severe weather outbreak. All right, we do have some thunderstorms approaching Lake Preston area. Those have a history of producing some hail, so there's a white box kind of outlined, so those could produce a little bit of hail up to nickel size and maybe wind gusts up to 35. They should weaken as they push east, but the western areas could see that. Now, otherwise, we're going to see those thunderstorms come through, showers between about 7 and about midnight, and then everything else should be fine for Friday, and the weekend looks excellent. Getting back to mid-60s by Sunday.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Pretty nice.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you all for joining us tonight at 5. We'll see you at 6.